And first of all, a dramatic change in weather as to what you and I said yesterday. We were actually getting rained on.
Yeah, we couldn't see the blue sky yesterday, and today I can't see a cloud anywhere. Yeah, we're back to basics for the Del Mar weather.
Yeah, nice breeze, a little warm, but the humidity is down a lot. So it's actually a real pleasant day. Late start this afternoon, an extremely challenging 8-race card. Let's get right to the action, Ryan. First race is on the grass. Scratch the 6 drum roll and scratch the 11. What do you do to start this Friday card?
Yeah, I thought the 7 Empress Ellie is a deserving favorite, but I wanted to go in another direction. I ended up with the 8 She's a Joker on top. I thought faced much better last time out. The likes of the White Lady, Hannah Buckle, who's entered in a competitive allowance race tomorrow, and then 3-back Sariha. I think all 3 of those would be favored in here pretty substantially. So I thought She's a Joker on the drop down for Peter Miller and Gary Barber just makes a lot of sense. And then I thought the 2 drawn towards the inside, Super Ellie, a couple Ellies in this race, but I thought Super Ellie drew nicely to the inside, drew post 7 last time, tried her best, but wasn't able to get there. I think maybe saving a little more ground is going to be the key, and the form from that race has held up nicely. So 8-2 for me to start.
I like a couple horses today, and one of them's in the first race. I like the 3 Road Town. Not many better than Ron Ellis first off the claim. He's given his filly or this mare a month. 2 fast works. That's un-Ellis-like. To me, that tells me this mare is doing very, very well. Owners are longtime owners of Ron's. He gets Juan Hernandez, and I think she gets a great trip. If the one Madeira one wants to go and she might from the rail, I think this mare can sit second. If she makes the lead, that's fine, too. I like Road Town. I think she'll run very well in the opener, and I respect Empreselli. Mullins does not reclaim a lot of horses. He did reclaim Empreselli off a good win. I put her second, 3-7 in this afternoon's first. Second race tips off the pick 4. Maiden 32. Sometimes these maiden 30s come up weak. I thought this one came up pretty decent. This is a good race.
Yeah, this is a good race. Very competitive. Hard to make kind of heads or tails of what's going to happen. The 5 Unique Power was a big scratch. But I ended up with the 8 on top for Springs. John Sadler going turf to dirt in this spot. Last work on August 24th was with 4 Lins, who won on debut yesterday for Louis Mendez. So I thought that, the form might be flattered a little bit there. And then the 4 Seattle Surf kind of looked like Lone Speed. I know he hasn't really held on towards the end of his races, but he's run his best races at Del Mar, including that last time out performance. So I thought I'll give him one more chance, maybe 12th time's the charm.
Yeah, it's a good challenge race. A lot of different ways to go. Before I was old and slow and broken down and couldn't play ball anymore, I played a lot of hoops, and you'd always want to cut down the nets. So let's cut down the nets, right? Hep, cut down the nets. I thought ran a pretty good second for Doug O'Neill last time out. The winner of that race came back to win and won nicely. Horses off the board came back to win, too. So I think this horse will run well. Hess doesn't ride Hernandez a lot, but he gets him here, so I'm looking for a Hernandez double. For second, the 7, Grinnell dropping class for Carla Gaines in for $32,000. Even I thought Divine Wind had a look off some good works for Doug O'Neill off the ship and win, but for selection purposes, let's go 3-7 in the second. All right, third race tips off the pick 6. We almost had a carryover today. One ticket yesterday, $31,000 for all 6. I always say, Ryan, being a pick 6 player, before I put in a ticket, I handicap the pick 6, meaning by that, do I think this could carry? Do I think it's maybe too tough to play? The answer for me on both questions is yes. I think this has got carryover written all over it. What about you?
I think it has carryover written all over it, unless I manage to have the single winning ticket.
Right,
I'm going to start with a bit of a price in the first leg here. Number 5, Parle, I thought deserved my top pick here. Drew well at post 5, but I can make excuses for both of those turf sprint efforts. One was on debut, and the last time had a really rough go of it. Brushed and checked multiple times, lost to next out winner Jungle Peace. Bred top and bottom for turf sprinter. Caravaggio is 21% with his turf sprinters from his offspring, the Grand Dam and the Grandsire on the mom side, turf route and turf sprint. So bred up and down for the grass. A nice steady work pattern coming back in. Yeah. I think you get a price with Tyler Bays aboard, 12-1 on the morning line. And then I had the 3 and the 2 in second and third. Tough to split those two. I ended up with the 3 Sunglow in second. I think that last out race that they both come out of is going to be pretty live.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're playing a pick 6, to me, you could go 5, 6 deep in here. There's a lot of horses you can make cases for. I ended up picking Sunglow. Might have needed that race. I've been off a couple months for Sadler and Barris. I thought was the horse to beat. Thought the 6, the first-time starter, might run well for Richard Mandel. The Damn Holy Helena was a really nice mare. She was a Grade 2 stakes winner. She was a 2-turn route horse. She was one of those mares, the further the better. This is the first foal to race out of that mare. Really good works, and I thought maybe a good spot for a first-time starter in a wide-open race. 3-6 for me. Kick off the pick 6. On to race 4, a field of 9 set to go here. This is the non-winners 2 Life 25 group. How do you sort this one out?
Yeah, I went pretty logical in here. I went 9-7. The 9 hard to figure was a trainer scratch a little earlier in the meet for Bob Baffert, but comes back in the same spot for the same condition. And obviously Bob is very strong with pretty much every angle that you can figure. But he's 5 for 7 in dirt races, first time for a tag. And I thought hard to figure from the outside, easy to figure for me to see this one in the winner's circle. And I thought the 7, big reds and ribeyes for Pipey and Kimura. Just made a lot of sense underneath as the second best horse in here. But I'm going to lean pretty hard on hard to figure in the pick 6.
Sounds good. A big glass of Cabernet tonight, maybe after the races. A big red with your ribeye. Love the way this horse won at Los Al. Visually was very impressive. The number was good. The one caveat is sometimes those Los Al races can fool you. They have fooled me, and I've worked every day, every meet that they've raced with it for 10, 11 years. But sometimes the form doesn't transfer. I'm hoping it will here. Kimura's had a good meet, rides back for Piping. It looked like Mike's just been looking for a spot. Hasn't missed a work. And the one to beat, hard to figure on the outside. Also thought Skyquist was an intriguing long shot. Only one time on the dirt. He won gamely. Third place finisher came back to win, and looks like he's getting better. So 7-9 with maybe the 4 Skyquist at a price also. On to race 5. We kick off the late pick 4. The Alsos did not get in. Another very tough race. I have a couple of horses on my horses to watch list that are in the same race. That's a tough thing to do. What do you like here, Ryan?
Yeah, this was a tough race. I think the 7 Third Beer has had a really nice workout report leading in. But Yaktin's only 1 for 8 with first-time starting 2-year-olds on turf route, so I wanted to maybe give this one an effort. Is 50% in the money, so they run well, but typically, they may need a starter too. I ended up with the 8 Bandolero on top. Peter Urton is 9 for 42, which is 21% for those second turf routes. Has some foundation from the first out start.
Having a very good meet, too.
Having a very good meet. You get blinkers on, which is a 40% angle from 15 starters. The 3 siblings as well are winners. They're 0 for 7 first-time starter, but this is his 3rd start. So every right to improve and take another step forward. Productive family. So the 8 got the top billing for me, and then the 5 as well. Again, just having those races I think is valuable and low-level connection, so I think you'll get a price.
Yeah, very good race. Like I said, 2 horses come out of my old-school horses to watch list here in my old notebook. The first one, number 9, No Joke Antares. I thought he ran pretty well in his debut. I bet on him last time out. He galloped out in front. He has run both times like a horse who will love the extra distance. The Dam in Tari's World, 3-time turf winner. There's already been 2 next out winners out of the last race. Tyler Bays rides back. I think this horse will route, and 7-2 is square price. The other horse I thought ran much better than looks is the 2-horse Columnist. Didn't really break, got banged around at the start. This Greg Yielding, once he picked up the bit about the 8th bull, he took off. He finished super. He galloped out in front. He's also got 2-turn pedigree. So 9-2, 2 horses I've been waiting to bet on, so I'll have to sort things out for this afternoon's 5th race. 6th race, final pick 3 on the card. I thought this was the toughest race on the program, right? I mean, you got a 30-to-1 shot and 2 30-to-1 shots somewhere in the line. They probably can't win, but they're not terrible horses. And all the rest, to me, I can build a case for.
Yeah, I'm right with you there. I think it's super tough to make heads or tails of who's going to come out on top in this race. I'm going to lean pretty heavy on the number 5 Tiger in my tank. Librato Baraccio and Kyle Frey have teamed up to have basically nothing but success at the meet. For this meet alone on dirt, they're 3 for 5, $6.28 ROI, 100% in the money. So they've never been worse than worse than 3rd. This runner has dirt efforts that certainly fit versus this field. There is some pace to the inside, but I think he is capable of sitting off if he needs to. And Kyle Frey's ridden really well when he's had the horse underneath him. So I'm going to lean heavy on the 5 Tiger in my tank. It's a wide open race, so I'll take a bit of a stab. And if I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah, it is a wide open race. I went to the bottom horse for Western Avenue. I love the way this horse won last time. He sat and got a good trip. He should get a good trip from his outside post again. As you know, there's a ton of heat in this race. They're going to rock and roll early on. I hope he gets that right kind of fold-over trip on the far outside. Clever Clover made a huge mid-race run last time and flattened out just a tiny bit. He'll get pace to run at. So I'm told is a tough horse shortening up. The 3-horse Bally Von Gig won real nicely coming down from Emerald Downs. Nation ran a good race into a horse who was heavily bet. I mean, I can see any of those horses and others winning. 11-2, 4 picks. 7th race, big scratch. Not so big on who scratched, but who it gets in. The one Loving on the Run is out. That lets Navy Bell get in. How'd you see this one?
Yeah, it's a big draw in from the AEs, but my top pick stayed in the race, which I'm happy about. That's the number 8, Barbara T. Last time out, lost to Sweet Azteca and Copian. You're not going to beat any of those monsters in here. Michael McCarthy's very good, 17% dirt to turf for sprints. This runner has some speed, so I think with the blinkers on, going to sit a little bit more forward, and I think is just going to kind of get the right kind of trip. The number 2, I'm about to go, is worthy of my second choice, just because all of her wins, have come on the lead. So I'm looking for Diego Herrera to really send from that inside post. I think there's a big note for that jockey switch from DeMuro into Diego Herrera, just for the intention of getting to the lead early. So I want to go 8-2 in here.
I picked the same horse you did, the 8-horse Barber T for Michael McCarthy. Looked up the dam. The dam only ran twice, but she was second and third. Both races on the grass, so she obviously handled the grass. To me, reading into the situation here, the Great Lady M's a grade 2. It's a very good race to get black type. I'm figuring Michael McCarthy said, look, we're going to enter, and then told Barris, look, if you can't get anything, take care of her, because we're in against much, much better horses. He used to train Sweet Azteca than McCarthy. So I think that was more of a prep. Let's get a race into the horse, and then we'll get serious at Del Mar. So I went to the 8 Barber T on top. And then Miss Roberts and Navy Bell, to me, are the same horse. They ran the exact same race. If you use one, you probably got to use both. So top horse for me, Barber T in race number 7. 8th and final, scratch the 6 and the 11. Wrap things up with $10,000 claimers. You know, sometimes, Ryan, these 10 claimers come up weak. I don't think this one did. I think these are actually decent 10 claimers.
Yeah, to continue the trend, this is a very competitive card. Again, the pick 6 might very well carry. I'm going to take my stab, but I ended up with the 10 Twilight Empire on first again, or in first. Again, Librado Braccio and Kyle Frey are teaming up, and they have so much success together. I like the way this one finished his race last time in the claiming 8,000. This is a very logical next spot. Made a mess of it at the break last time as well. So to overcome that as kind of a lower level claimer and to still, get your mind on business and win, I like to see that. And then the 8 Gray Frost, I thought you'll finally get some value on this horse coming in. Has been favored and odds on in 3 of her last 4, or 3 of her last 4. Speed and favored versus better in the last 4. So I want to give this one more shot. To try and right the ship, and 7-2 is a very fair price. Yeah,
good gambling race to close things out. I ended up picking Old Silver. I liked her a lot last time. D'Amato, he triple jumped an old mare who hasn't raced often. To me, that was a very positive sign. She just ran kind of even. Big drop, 16-10 on this circuit at this time of the year is a big drop. So I picked her on top. I'm with you on Gray Frost. Comes back to California for Hess, who sends a lot of horses back and forth to Kentucky. The one worry I have with her is those fields she beat at San Diego were woeful. Those were very, very soft spots. She's facing better horses today. But I think she'll fire. And then you made the case for Twilight Empire. The barn is rolling. She stumbled pretty bad, recovered, and still won. So I'm with you on that one, Ryan. 2, 8, and 10. Ryan, it's a good gambling card. I know you've peeked ahead at tomorrow. Tomorrow's card is outstanding, loaded with big fields and quality stakes, including obviously the Pacific Classic.
Of course, the Pacific Classic, you have the showdown of 3 of the best horses in the country, but that entire card top to bottom is fantastic. I can't wait to bet it and do a deeper dive tonight, too.
I might not play the pick 6 today, so if it hits, I hope it's your ticket. Thanks for your time, Ryan. We'll see you next time. Thanks to all of you for watching. Post time about 40 minutes away. I'll join you in the paddock in about 20 minutes here at Del Mar.